Sandra Bullock at Christmas time? No way. Oh no, there we go. Way better. Hi, Dean from Leisure Travel Vans. Just doing a little chilling in this beautiful brand new Wonder RL. Is Christmas season here, and we like to reflect back on the 2020 year, a year like no other. Obviously, across the world, our customers have been so supportive of us. An exciting year. We launched the brand new Wonder RL virtually. We didn't send it to any shows. We just did it online. We want to thank everybody for subscribing to our YouTube channel. So just maybe to have a little look back on the year being in Winkler, Manitoba, building RVs in a smaller community. We have not been hit as hard as other parts of the world on the COVID. We've been able to keep our factory running primarily. It's been a challenge for the entire RV industry with supply chains, getting parts into the factory to build with, but we are continuing to keep the plant running. And I think we've also been trying really hard to connect with our customers and with our dealers through Zoom calls and things like that. So with all the challenges of 2020, no question, we've had some great stories from our leisure customers that have used their RVs during this pandemic. And let's connect with some of those customers right now, and let's get a hold of them, see how their stories were with their leisure travel vans.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So being from Florida, we're a little bit familiar with hurricanes and tropical storms. Actually, back in 2017, one came about 10 miles to the east of our home. And the news media, they hype these things up. They get you all fired up, days in advance, And as I was watching this the day before, my wife actually said to me, she said, maybe we ought to think about going ahead and leaving. Somebody might ask the question, well, if you knew a tropical storm was coming, why did you continue to stay there, right? That storm, because it was moving so fast, it didn't really weaken that much, because think about it. It came ashore in New Orleans, and we're up in northern Georgia. So it had to cross over Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama before it gets to Georgia. And you're thinking, well, it'll weaken, right? And well, it didn't really weaken too much. It did weaken. It wasn't a hurricane. Right. Well, you probably don't get a lot of hurricanes in Winkler. It started actually, the night before, and you could just hear the sheets of rain hitting the roof. And, finally, at 4, and I'm watching this on the radar, we still had power at that point. We lost power probably about 4:30. That was the other thing that I was thankful for, is the wine guard that helped bring in, the Wi-Fi signal, because the Wi-Fi signal was pretty far away. And there were times during that morning where I heard this huge roar, and I'm thinking, oh no, around up to 60 miles an hour. The rain is coming and swirling and beating down, and it's coming every which way, right? LTV builds a great product, right? I mean, that's why we bought it. But, if ever there was going to be a breach or rain get in, that would have been the time. And I know you guys have a rain simulator. You can't simulate that. I talked to the camp host there. He said he's never, ever seen the water flowing as much as it was flowing that morning. Yeah, they had no power and they had no water, but it really didn't affect us at all, because fortunately, we had water in the fresh water tank, combination of the generator and the batteries. Yeah, I mean, it was all good. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on and having me talk about it. You guys are a great company. Nothing but good things to say.
Well, we love all of our customers.
Good to see you, Dean. You're looking good.
I'm going to get some of those glasses like you have. So you've had the twin bed out?
Back in March, I was roaming around the country, and I happened to have my van in Florida, and I was watching the numbers climb, and it was getting pretty scary because my mother is in New York and was not in a situation where she could easily and safely quarantine. And so I called her up and I said, you know what, I'm gonna come get you. I hopped in the van. I drove straight through, Walmart parking lots the whole way. I think I did it in about 2 days. This was the beginning, so nobody knew exactly what was happening. And all I knew is that my mother was in an at-risk demographic and I needed to help her. The van was perfect. It was incredible. I was able to safely travel. I was able to cook for her. We were able to stay separate. We were able to stay extremely safe. It worked out really well because I had all of the comforts of home. We made it down to safety, so to speak. And at that point, Florida was relatively very safe. It was perfect. And I continued to travel very safely for several months afterwards, and was amazed at times where I just felt like life was normal while I was also being really safe. It was quite literally a lifesaver for me. And then also I was able to continue to work and travel using my van, which is amazing because I do video shoots all over the country. We're doing very responsible shoots, but sometimes the trick is, how do you get there? How do you arrive safely and take necessary precautions? And my van has been the answer. Keep my own kitchen, I have my own shower, my own bathroom, everything is separate in mine. And I don't even have to stay in hotels. And it's amazing because you do feel camaraderie at the campsites, but yet you don't have to go within 20 feet of another person. And it's helped me personally to just deal with, hey, I don't have to sit in a locked basement somewhere and not see the world and experience life. I can do all of those things and do it, in my mind, perfectly safely.
Wow, those are two positive stories from 2020. Hey, if you have some positive stories about 2020, please share them in the comments below. With the COVID thing, I'm almost as big as Santa Claus now. I'm here in Northern Canada. Santa and his elves have been pretty restless, and they've been working on some new motorhomes. I think we might be able to go and have a little sneak peek. Shh, we're in Santa's workshop. We're not supposed to be here. Little secret. Don't tell anyone. Oh, that was exciting, but I think Santa's mad at me now. I'm probably gonna get coal for Christmas, that's for sure. So once again, we wanna thank everybody that supports our company, from our great customers, past, present, future, that are waiting, and we're building those motorhomes as fast as we can. I want to thank all of our fabulous employees. Without them, we couldn't build the greatest motorhome built in the world. We also want to thank all of our dealers for selling our product, our suppliers, management, the ownership of our privately owned company, absolutely fantastic. Everybody that's involved in the Leisure Travel Van family. We want to wish everybody a sincere Merry Christmas. Hey, you know what? I hear something. I hear some bells. Is that Dancer and Prancer and Dixon and Rudolph? Come on, we can go outside and look at something. Hey, we sincerely want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a happy, prosperous, and more importantly, healthy New Year. Dean from Leisure Travel Vans, Merry Christmas!